Tracker was a member of the Super Predator tribe who hunted on the game reserve planet. The group consisted of himself, Falconer, and their leader Berserker. Together they would find the most dangerous members of the most dangerous species and hunt them, putting their own skills to the ultimate test. The tribe would, in the process, learn from their prey and adopt their techniques and equipment for themselves. Tracker stands 7 feet and 7 inches in height with green and yellow-beige skin and black dreadlocks. His biomask is fitted with 2 tusk-like bones coming out from the jawline. He wears green-coloured armour of a different type seen on the other 2 super predators, with less torso coverings but more leg protection to prevent injury from being in close proximity to the Predator Hounds, for which he is the handler of. Predator Hounds, also called Hell-Hounds, are domesticated alien creatures used to flush prey out of hiding. They are highly aggressive quadrupedal animals with tusks and horns covering their faces and bodies, resembling a blend of a dog, big cat, and a wild boar. The tracker predator would communicate with these trained creatures by the use of a whistle, either a standalone device or more likely the sound is made by his biomask, which he'll use to call off the hounds if they have either completed their task or before they inflict too much damage on or even outright kill the prey, as the predators like to save that part for themselves. Due to the super predators learning from their prey and adopting their techniques, it is possible that at one point, Tracker had abducted and hunted a human hunter or hunters who used hunting dogs themselves. In addition to the Hell-Hounds, for weaponry, Tracker has the usual super predator equipment consisting of a single gauntlet-mounted wrist blade on his right arm and a plasma caster located on his left shoulder. In this case being the more traditional single-shot design rather than the rapid-fire rotary design used by the Berserker Predator. It seems instead of the rapid-fire capability of Berserker's plasma caster, the one utilised by the Tracker Predator is able to fire plasma bolts of varying power, with the wielder being able to charge up the shot the longer they hold down the trigger, so to speak, with an uncharged shot maiming a human and a fully charged shot practically vaporising them. The Tracker Predator was an experienced hunter likely of bloody rank and skilled in close quarters melee combat, long range engagements, stealth, and the tracking and stalking of numerous animals. Coupled together with his own personal pack of trained Hell-Hounds made him a formidable force, and second in command of Berserker's hunting party. Like Berserker, Tracker doesn't seem to allow his prey a chance to fight back and will just kill them with overwhelming force, armed or not. This could be evidence of this trio being bad bloods, or on the other hand, it could be that as we know the humans were already selected for being the most dangerous, they had already been deemed honourable to kill whether they pose an immediate threat or not. Tracker is not seen unmasked in the movie, so his facial appearance and features are unknown, but being another super predator, it is likely he shares similar traits to Berserker except with a different skin colour and maybe some subtle differences like eye colour and mandible size. When the humans had begun exploring their surroundings, Tracker let the hounds loose to find and flush them out into the open. The humans managed to kill a few of Tracker's hounds, but not before the predators were able to snatch one of their members. Then, with their purpose fulfilled, Tracker used a whistle to call the hounds off. When the humans then found their camp, they sprung a trap, killing another one of them, and opened fire on the rest with their plasma casters, making them flee. Later that evening, during the struggle between Royce's group and Noland, Tracker saw a heat plume come from their hideout during the commotion and went in to find them. Once inside, Tracker found Nolan and blew him apart with his plasma caster. Then he set his sights on Edwin, but was shot by Nikolai, who pulled Edwin to safety, but a couple of minutes later he caught up to them again and shot Nikolai from behind, knocking him down, then impaled him through his torso with his wrist blade as he tried to crawl away, and lifted him up off the ground. But Nikolai pulled out a pair of claymore mines and detonated them, taking the Tracker Predator out with him. So I thought that Tracker was a really cool predator, like the other two super predators. I really like his design and think they did a really good job on them and managed to make them all very unique with their own looks and personalities. Like in this case, he was the only predator up until then to use a trained animal, until the Predator came out and the assassin predator used hounds in a similar way to how Tracker did. One detail I like about Tracker are the tusks he has coming out of his biomask. I heard that the people who did the creature design said that the tusks are from the Predator Hounds, which I like the idea of as it incorporates them into his design, which makes sense as he was the one who used them. Let me know if you had the NECA figure of him, and if so, did you snap the tusks off and have to glue them back on like me and many others did, and if you would like for them to make ultimate versions of the super predators. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.